everybody, Paul Mack here. I just wanted to show you a few things I got at the auction. Let's see. First off, okay, I got it. It's a bucket, yes, I know. And, you know, buckets are handy. When I find them and they're cheap, I'll grab them. But there's a few things in the bucket I wanted to show you. First of all, I have a couple of iron wedges. Whenever I can grab these cheaply at an auction or a flea market, I do. You know, if I'm reselling them, I charge maybe $8. I have charged $6, but you know, things go up. $6 or $8 for these wedges, and if I can get them cheaper than that, which I obviously did, buying a bucket full of things. You know, this one has got some chips out of it. You could restore that, and even small wedges, you know, the shorter it gets as you grind it down, even smaller wedges are still useful. But you would, you know, I'd need to put that on a grinder and, you know, get past, you know, of course you could split wood with the nicks in there. It's not going to hurt anything. And after a while of hitting these with a Go Devil, you know, a sledge or a Go Devil, they're going to kind of mushroom out. One thing I've read a lot of, you need to be careful when you're pounding these with sledgehammers. If they start getting more mushroomed, you know, things can fly off there, can go in your eyeball. Everybody's scared of things going in their eyeballs. But, you know, I've never had it happen to me, but it's something to be cautious about. Next, let's see, look here. This is kind of a neat find. I bet you know what that is. It's a nib off an old scythe, which I think I've got some scythes in here. But this is just one. Usually they come two to a scythe. And the wood is still good, and the metal is still good. Here is a tip that not many people know, unless you've been watching, you know, the Farm Hands Companion Show. These nibs are reverse thread. So when you're going to tighten them or loosen them, you would do the opposite of what you would normally do. So to tighten would be counterclockwise, and to loosen would be clockwise. So, and these can be, you know, if they're bent, they can be pounded back circular and fit to whatever new scythe you have. Scythe is the handle for the scythe. So anyway, a little nib for a scythe. Then, if you've ever seen any of these, sometimes people have them hanging on walls as a decoration. It's not much to look at. But it's basically a clevis for the old single stock plows. In other words, this would go on the front of the plow, and then you'd have a little bolt that would go down to hold it. On most of the stock plows, the wood piece that points at the mule's south side, there's a hole in the end, and this little knob right here fits in the hole just to keep it from moving either way on you. And then you can hook your, of course, your single tree would hook to this, and or double tree is the case if you're plowing with two mules. Single tree would hook into here or here. Obviously, with the high one, you're going to get, you know, the implement or whatever would have a more downward tilt, and with this one, you'd have a little more updraft on it, whatever you want to call it. So anyway, a little clevis. Only part of it's really, really rusty. Don't have the other part, obviously. And then look here. Now, these are shears. And most of the time people think, when they think of these shears, they think of shearing sheep, which people did it. It's, you know, it takes a lot of hand power. But when I was growing up, my dad always called these mule shears because that's what my grandpa used them for. Most of the people in our area, very few had sheep, if any, and it was a novelty if somebody did. Not a lot of sheep raising going on in our part of southwest Arkansas. But back in the day, my grandpa's day, just about everybody had a mule, and I don't think they would trim the horse's mane so much, but a good mule man would keep his mule's mane pretty much trimmed all the way back down, and I guess the front too. They would trim them really close where the bridle or the halter went around. But these are obviously pretty rusty. Still got blue paint on, the original blue paint on them, so I'm not sure that they're really that old. And this was good. Whoever owned them cared about them, because he wrapped a string around it and tied it so that I don't know why he did that actually. You could refurbish these and get the rust off of them, wire brush, electrolysis, or maybe the pumice stone, and then you would want to sharpen only one edge of them. In this instance, it would be the bottom edge of this one and the top edge of this one. If you get that reversed, they're not gonna, the two bevels are not gonna meet properly, and it's gonna be a pain. It's gonna be actually almost useless if you sharpen it that way, wrongly. And then of course the bucket can be used for, you know, bucket things. Oh, what do you see this? A broadaxe. Looky there. Now this one has got a lot of pitting on it. Looks like somebody tried to clean it up, spray painted it black at some time. But it's the only thing is it's not got, the handle's not got the traditional curve to it, so that you don't bang your knuckles on the log. Broadaxes, as you know, have a bevel on one edge. This one still has a lot of life in it. It's got some nicks on it. It would take some loving care, but here we go, a good broadaxe. I love these things. I got a dinky hat, 60% cotton, 40% polyester, made in Korea. There's a funky looking hat that's got the little things for your ears, I guess. Oh, anyway, I got some good stuff inside here. Got a, what is that? Memos. Oh, it's a little, wow, look at that. Huh, wow. It's got a little pencil holder, or a little bitty pencil holder. It's made of metal, a little bitty tiny memo pad from 1931 at least. Huh, how about that? You never know what you're going to find. And also I've got a couple of straight razors. Look, this the case. One had the case on it. Oh, the guy put the price. I hate it when they put the price tag right on the case. I can't read it. Anyway, that's where your straight razor would go, in the case. And here's one of them right here. Still got a decent blade. This is very sharp, very, very sharp. Got a good blade on it right there. I don't see a name. Made in Germany. Underland. I don't know. Anyway, very nice straight razor. And here's another straight razor. Looks like Bakelite. $32. Got the price tag on it. Not my price, but still very, very sharp. Lee's warranted. Okay, a couple of nice straight razors here. Oh, I love these tools. This is a Matic, and this one has got some weight on it. The heavier they are, the more I like them. It's got still got a really decent handle, probably better than the one I've got in the shop over there. But these are so handy for if you don't have a tiller or don't have a plow or a tractor or whatever, and you've got a small garden plot, these are so easy to break up even new ground with this end. But I like, sometimes they have a spike on the end for pulling up rocks, if you run into rocks. But I really prefer these because around here, well, you're going to run into rocks around here. But also if you're going to run into a root every now and then, and this one it's not very sharp. It needs to be reground, put a new couple of bevels on it and get it all sharp, get the rust off of it, clean it up. This would be a really, really good, it's already a good tool. You could run out and use it right now. But I like these for, you can chop into roots, turn it around, and then turn it back around and keep on digging. So the old Matic grubbing hoe, it's not really a grubbing hoe, but sometimes they're called that. Sometimes I call them that. But Matic, M-A-T-T-O-C-K. Now here's an old pick. This one's got a pointy end here, and this one's a little flatter for whatever purpose. And man, the handle is it's kind of solid, but not really at the top. I think that would probably fly off and hit somebody next to you in a hurry. So But look, I'm looking down here, and there are probably at least 3 nails driven into the handle to keep that thing from moving, which I guess it worked. It still hadn't moved. So there's an old pick. We can go prospecting now. Oh, here we go. I got a scythe that I bought at an auction, and it looks like the hardware is still in good shape. It just needs tightening up with this one screw. These scythe blades can come off so that you can sharpen them. It could use a little bit of love and quite a bit of sharpening. Looks like somebody spray painted it black. I don't know why, but all that's in pretty good shape. The handle's it's still usable. This one would still be usable. And the nibs here, as I have said before, the nibs, not many people know this. This is a secret. The nibs have reversible or reverse threads on them, so that if you're tightening, you're actually turning counterclockwise. If you're loosening, you're turning clockwise. That's so that they don't come undone while you're taking a swing. But so if you loosen them this way and move them anywhere you want, and then tighten them back like that. Problem is sometimes the wood gets a little punky and rotten, and it won't hold on to the little nut right there. So, but this one looks like it's in pretty good shape. Scythes. I try to buy them, when they're $30 or less. I'll try to pick them up. It's really, really, really good, like almost brand new. I might pay more for it, and if I didn't have one at all, I'd probably pay $80, $100 for one. This is an American scythe, by the way. This is old, I think. And look, it's got a little bitty, there's writing in it. March 29th, 1931. Dear Arch, during the period between this another year just drop down in this little book. English wasn't very good. And in your older years you may look back on these pages and live them over again. Wishing you much joy and happiness, I am a friend. I shall never forget the happy hours we have spent with you. Polly. Remember March 22nd, 1893? We went LL and ate dinner, and afternoon we went to Rack Springs. No, I don't recall that. And the gospel fear came, and we enjoyed a good talk with Mrs. Russell. Oh, had the gospel fear put in them. April 1931. Remember October 4th, 1931, we went to preaching at William Switch, and then next to Aunt Allie's. This is fascinating.